I think we got super lucky. Okay, let's deal with the extra stuff. How do we deal with all of this? I don't know. How, oh how? I guess we could go out. Let's go out. Overgrown biosphere. Could we risk it? I'm curious if we could risk it. Repeatable. Endure. 100% positive. Let's do that. 2 scrap components. We've got 3 scrap components, so I suppose we can make our home now. We can definitely make our home now. Artificial wilderness. Self-sustaining community. What is this? Engage and endure. Right? Ashton is out here. The wild edge of the greenway to see if that's true. But we could do that. We could go for all of that. Overgrown biosphere. Ah, your one. Okay. Percent. Chambers and passages. I'm not sure if this is the best way to go about it. New. Wild margins. Which one gives me the spores? Because that's pretty much what I'm interested in. I'm interested in whether or not I can actually get the spores from them. That'd be nice and interesting. Can a system and work in feeding the members hard work, you're invited to assist in maintaining them. Work the grow pads, okay. Or do something like this. Don't really know how to go about it. There could be something. Let's try to find this man. Unlikely. It's a bad idea, I think. Like this. Great. 1, 2. No, we don't have enough. We genuinely don't. We're gonna try regardless. Neutral. Yeah. As mentioned, we don't have enough. Wow. One more. Let's risk it. Hopefully it works. Did it. Leave. Ankita, stranded mercenary. The trail ahead extends deep into an overgrown section of the greenway. This far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the waste, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stand a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscapes like an ancient temple. It's stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out of the broken tanks like a frozen brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll your coma headset and Keto gave you in your new car. Okay. Call Ankita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? Yes. Come now. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. The static cuts out the channel dead. Hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead, the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. Try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, growing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere, bordered by the void of space. You smile despite everything. It seems like an improvement. Okay. Sleeper, Kita's hiss brings you out of your reverie. He is in the collapsed shack? I think so. She gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth. Work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway, with you following close behind. It is slow there where the overgrowth meets the metal wall. It is concealed that you will barely see the glass roof high above. Ankita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works away through the dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting and you desperately want to rest, but Ankita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead there is a faint glow collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to the broken tank, and you both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sit among the moss and algae. Interesting, okay. You walk your way up the slanted tank, Ankita, setting a deliberate pace. Slowly, water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place. Reaches the edge of the tank where it meets the central drum and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward to look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands at the base. It's beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object, a cylinder set on a top. It's connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Kita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's ship mine, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Wait. You turn to Ankita to speak, but she's already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Darn! You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Ankita reaches over and wraps her hand around the thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of their heads. She screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Stop. Quiet, sleeper. She shouts. Another shot rips through the moss beside you, filling your vision with green. The shooter must be somewhere on the other side of the tank. Dead again, and I swear to God I'll tear their head off. He shouts to them, Sleeper, you stay down. There is a long pause. You can hear... All that you can hear is the dripping of the water running down the walls of the drum. Ashton calls out. Disgraced mercenary. Ashton. Interesting. Hey, I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid, for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Looks pretty bad. Drop the gun, Peter shouts. He throws it down onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye. Clocking your presence. What are you up here, Ashton, you bad boy? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mine for what? Some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. Steady, Ankita, it isn't like that. I needed the ship mind. You have to understand. You would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a darn why you ripped my ship mind and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity. Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it, for your help. You only look after yourself, he nods at you. That sleeper up there, they are just bait, right? To draw me out. I suppose that we are. This sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton. Ankita snarls. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way, he just goes, please. I can't let you take it, Ashton. Ankita hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises his hands. I'm going to take the ship mind and go. Ankita loosens his grip on the connection a little. Hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. She lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop a guard, he makes his move. Blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. Recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum. The sounds deafening. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, a severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. Force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There is no sign of life, no humanity. You are just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around living things grow and fall. Ankita finally looks back at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you're already gone. Dawn. That was a bad scenario overall. Oof. I mean, what can I say about this? Go back. You. Go back. You have any money? Use that money. Do something with that money. I don't know what, but definitely do something. Order for ship AI amputated and in hibernation. Is there something I can do? Ah, wait, I can get myself an apartment. Yes. Let's do this. Nice. Ah, actually we need 4 of them. Oh well. It's quite unfortunate. We need 4 of them, not just 3. Might be a while before we're able to do anything. So I don't really know. Great. We get a little bit more cryo. Something that we definitely need. Do we get any points? We don't get any points for that. Sadly. I wish that we could. Would have been nice. We're still in the container. Whatever it's inside. Right. Let's see if we can continue. So we could inject the stabilizer. We don't need that yet. We will at some point, I'm sure. Let's see. We'd go for this. We could go for a lot of things actually. Paragon Enforcer. I don't think that's going to help us, but we see. Probably this one. Right. Which? Super! Got the scrap components. And I do need the scrap components for this. Yay! Now we're gonna get the appointment. Okay, you tucked the scrap into the shadow interior. It's hard to imagine this place as a home, but it can't be worse than a container. No. It can't. Place. Seal unit. With all the materials, the unit now needs sealing section by section to be usable. It's a laborious task, but the outcome is worth it. Endure. This. Oh, we're gonna have to do all of them. Okay. If we do this, it's a bit risky. Really, we should refuse to do that. At least for now. Don't have much choice. This is some risky stuff. I'm not particularly interested in risky stuff. Good stuff. If that works. Nope. Doesn't work. This doesn't work either. Nice. Extract. Right. Extra one. Got this one. This one as well. Right. So now what we need is place. Intuit would be next. Intuit would definitely be next. Something's gonna happen with me now, I don't know. Nothing I can do about that, literally. Literally nothing. That empty container, man. Okay. Could, yes. Should. And back we are. Alright. Can I give him anything? So, can't go anywhere else, so I might as well go back here and sleep it off. Until something happens. I don't know what, but something. Someone's gonna come for me for sure. Leave. Oh, stuff. Scrap. That's scrap. Allowance, random scrap item. Can we do anything with this? A little risky, I think. Could make some money if I did have this. Oh yes, we're going there, we're going there. It's okay. Got you. We got you. Let's go. This one as well. Good. Now, what else? Yeah, this place is gone. It's just gone. So what are we going to do? Do not know. There's no answer when you buzz Lem's unit, but the door is open. You push the door and find Mina sitting in the middle of the floor, playing with Bun Bun. Hi, Mina. Hi, Robot, says Mina sullenly, waving Bun Bun's paw without looking up. Who's Daddy? Mina doesn't respond. She walks Bun Bun across the floor, narrating quietly to herself. Look around the unit is a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in a corner. Mina is sitting by her bag, which is spilled out across the floor. Her drawing slate, cracked and dark. Tidy up. You start with the kitchen units, piling up the dishes in an auto wash, wiping them down. You pile the clothes up next, folding them neatly. Mina watches you quietly as she plays, curious but silent. You just started to look at fixing her crackled slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you? He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind. He drops a bag by the door and slubs onto the couch. Everything okay? Lem lets out a weak laugh. You forgot the past cycles now too? You've forgot the past few cycles now too? Wish I was so lucky. He looks away at the open door. Look. Now's not a good time. What happened? What happened? We messed up, that's what happened. We put our hopes in someone else's stupid schemes. He pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they never even put us on that list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work and I've run into more than a few from the cruise. It turns out only the long-time Havanosh members were issued those sealess ID numbers. They never planned to consider us. Havanosh said they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw. And who knows, maybe Silas pulled the wool over their eyes. But what does it matter? All those hours in the yards for a hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. He slams his hand down on the sofa. You giving up? Lem opens his mouth to respond, but stops himself. He looks at the open door again. They are moving to the side reel up the hub now, you know, he says without meeting her eye. That's where it'll depart from. They are bringing in a ship with all the cryosleep pioneers and transferring them up there in microgravity before loading the crew. You could sneak aboard, steal a ticket. You could sneak aboard. You think they are just going to let people on board? The security they'll have has to be impossible. He looks over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We've always been. I just need a little time, he says. I had a heart set on that trip, is all. Mina comes over and climbs into his lap. He smiles. What if I got you on board? I missed you these past few cycles. I missed that optimism. Him strokes Mina's hair. Look, you want to go up to the hub and ask around, be my guest. I can't get up there with Mina down here. I'm sure the side rail will bring in a crowd. Be careful, that kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find any way on board, you take it. You need to get help there? Ask me. But for now, me and Rini here are sticking on the eye. She looks up at him and smiles. Tim smiles but doesn't say anything. You stand to leave and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Then you are out, back into the walkways of the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. Yeah. But you have to. Something... Wait, is it not here? So it should have been here. Somewhere else? I don't see anything else. Caster. Unit. There's nothing here. There's literally nothing. Offices doesn't help me. What can I do? I can't anything. There's nowhere. Where is that thing? Seriously, where's that thing? It might be this. Might be something to do with this. No? I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be going for this or something else? Okay to know. That's the dog. Anything else? Sadly not. Doesn't feel like it. Who? Large agent. Oh. Risky. Goodbye, boss. I'm not interested in that. Yes. Okay. Interesting. We're gonna find a way for them, sure. Not yet, but at some point. Righty. What's so risky? I think this is a little risky. Do it. Okay. I'll do it. Scrap components, thank you. Okay. Oh, this is risky. That's pretty risky, yeah. So is this, but at least I got better chances. Lose energy, that's fine. That's alright. Can afford to. Moment. Right, and we can leave. I don't have any other place to stay. I genuinely don't. So, yeah. No. No scrap components to use for the moment. Just for the moment. Okay. I need to do something that's specific. I really do wonder what that could be. This, on the other hand, is better. Extract data. Another one. Ah, this one. Okay. This one. Yes. Excellent. Going back. Can we give this guy anything? Has to. Shoulder ward. All of this is very risky, and I'm not really a fan of this risky stuff. I'd rather use it on my hand for the time being. Yo. Wait. This one. It helps. Wait. Get some food. And then we go and we get some money. Do we need any more money? No, do not. Not at the moment, anyway. Back home. Try to sleep. Oh. You aren't finished? Can finish all the what? What do you mean I'm not finished? Am I missing anything? Am I really missing anything? Okay, leave. What am I missing exactly? I don't feel like I'm missing anything, but oh, I am missing something. I didn't know that that you'd get prompted. You just couldn't skip this stuff. Interesting. And thank you for putting that into the game, because sometimes I miss stuff, and it's very bad when you realize it's way too late that you've actually missed a lot of stuff. And that's a shame. That's really a shame. That doesn't need to be necessary. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you and she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. Both eye each other. Peter? She holds up her hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this. When all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. It's okay. She nods. She looks up to the stars. I've never... She stops herself. Thank you. Nikita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... Look. Can you come with me? It's easier if... Lead on. Peter leads you down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway. The quirk of the air current the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with the flickering grow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin, the smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. Follow her in. Follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at the ground level. It's just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tank with the glint of a weapon, the shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now. The equipment cleared away. In its place, a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt. The grave's head. I bury them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask, but about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. Last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We'd had a period of extended shore leave on the Eye. When he came back, he was changed. I assumed he just had too much time off. He was right. I would never have given him the ship mite. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she's reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss tremble. You both stand in silence for a while. You both feel it, like creeping back in. The silence ending, Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out into the open of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita, from somewhere behind you. Try to think of something to say but can't. It puts her hand on your shoulder. Turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into their hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars, ugly little things, you think. Drop the chits. Open your hand and let the chits fall. Plunk into the dirt, and she does not pick them up. You turn without saying a word and continue up the track. She does not follow. As you walk up to rise, the wind picks up, leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. Think of those ugly metal bars in the dirt. A life has to be worth more than that. It has to be. The bad end. Good end, that's the bad end. That wasn't very good. Wasn't very good at all. Shouldn't have. I instantly trusted her, which is something I should have done. Confirm. I did it for a little bit of money. That is indeed a shame. That story didn't really go anywhere. Definitely done. If I don't go with this, I'm done for. I have to go with this no matter what. I don't have a home, I don't have anything. This is really depressing. Okay, and cycle. Can we repair? There's some more. One more. And cycle. I'm so sorry about that. That's really a bad end. Right there. Such a bad end. I guess I have to go with these guys now. Not really that much of a choice. High stakes only. In the box. Predictive reasoning. Right. Like, what else can I do? They're all the same. Let's do it. Okay, positive outlook. Drive complete. Squatters' rights. Okay. One upgrade point. Can I use that to do this? Probably or probably not. I could get more with this. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. Right. I'd like to get more data though. But I'd prefer to get more data. I don't know if I will. I put... Yeah, that's why it's not giving me anything. Because of that reason. Now I know. Now I know. Risky. Quite risky. I'd be losing energy, but... Oh my. There's signs that a stray animal has been nosing around a unit. A handful of chips for some crackers should bring it out of hiding. Right. Great. Stray fed. Okay. The stray hops up onto a work surface and looks out the unit's small window. Lovely. It doesn't acknowledge your presence, it just sits there. Besides the tray of crumbled crackers, staring out at the low end. Huh, interesting. What is this stray's story? Are there more on the station? You haven't seen another in the low end, but in this vast megastructure that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this in the world. You look at its sleek dark fur. Yes, definitely majestic. And sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged, it looks at home. In fact, its presence in this unit makes you wonder if this is the stray's apartment, which you are squatting in. Watch the stray. When the stray is looking out at the station, you feel its attention on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. You remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eyes, perhaps the reflection of a passing ship. The stray settles a little and starts eating, picking at the broken crackers. You don't remember ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of life. Totally unlike your own, but still somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. The stray licks crumbs from its fur. You like it here? Stray flicks their tail at the sound of your voice. It's hard to imagine the stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit it. But the stray's pleasure at existing here in this place shines through its every sinew. It is not that the stray is always happy on the eye, but that the stray is engaged by this place. It is alive here. You turn your eyes to the window, the one that the stray looks out of, and you both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the stray. A kind of acknowledgement of each other, a sense that each of you might share something with the other, a point of connection, if you will. And all at once the stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit and brushes along your legs, and then it's gone, out through the unit's door and back into the corridors of the levels. Oh my. Bad unit. So we can sleep here. We can actually sleep here. Superb. Gain energy too. Okay, for now, I think we should go and try this. Serious high-stakes business. I can gain cryo or I can lose cryo. That's how it works. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for something completely different. Specifically this. It's what action. Okay. The waitress looks at you with suspicion as you hand over the box. Is this the right place? Tambour, Yatagan run tea house. As you go to leave the Tambour tea house, a hand falls over your shoulder. Fang! Oh my! What are you doing here, Fang? Sleeper! Fang hisses from you. How did you find me? Well, Harden has your hardware. Don't worry about that, Fang smiles. He has no idea what to do with it. Fang guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambour's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces easily off the metal walls. Fang sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house, part of a bit of a misnomer there. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth, itself fashioned from some old salvaged tank or container, then lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any Avanage types. They don't usually come out this far. For you? Ah, not anymore, I'm afraid. Suspended without appeal. Turns out Harden has someone's ear. He grins. Doesn't bother me though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrappy hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? Look at the menu. Fang is right, the menu is delicious. There are at least 10 different infusions, most of which you cannot make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as a seasonal specialty. So you ran into Hardin? Was he pissed? Fang doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlin would approve of his meritocratic. Yes. He taps on the table. If Happenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens, he snorts. But I guess his kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo, snaking up her arm, turns up at the booth. Slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over, time to pick something. Help infusion. She nods and notes you. And you? Begins looking into Fang, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Fang shrinks a little. You are supposed to be working. This is your shift. Grins sheepishly. They out. Look, Jenna, let's just say this is my break. Your friend here has been through a lot. Jenna looks between the two of you. Not. Fang also starts nodding. 2 minutes. Says Jenna, pointing at him. And only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. She gestures at the table and walks over. What? Fang stretches into booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, leans in. This is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Who? Remember the web of connections that Harden pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. If we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the Eye, those are the people we have to find. Fang is almost whimpering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in the low end. And well, almost everyone in the low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate onto the table. I've set this up so that anyone with network signature I'm looking for comes into the close proximity. I'll mark them. Once they are marked, we can break through their access protocols and get the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first, hence me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly, a smile goes across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Look, I can't cover enough of the low end on my own, and so far I've had no matches in this place. The two of us, we can cover more ground. How? Well, Feng has a hangdog. Look, we need to get you out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people and residents as possible. And it turns out my friend Mingy needs some help with deliveries. As in Mingy Express. So you already know him. Perfect. Feng places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocols. And runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of the targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Mingy, and soon enough we'll have the place covered. Feng, don't give me that. You think I like working here? I thought you could use the tips, he grins. We are in this together, right? Okay then, Feng slips his slate back under his clothes. Just head on up to Mingy Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes up. If you manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shifts, so I shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past, carrying a tray of drinks, and sharply catches Feng's eye. I don't think she's bringing your drink. He stands. I think it's time we call this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket. See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe, Feng adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. Okay, drive. Okay. Alrighty. So what is this? We can't get any more. Could get something out of this. We're gonna lose. Okay. Let's see. Neutral. Understood. This is no, sorry. What I need is something like this. Let's do it. Even if it's bad, I still want to do it. Energy, that's fine. That's fine. We can do it. Great, I got more energy. Only I could do one of these. Can't. And anything? This. Let's extract data. And we should be able to. Tracking Havenage. So data. This should do this for us. So 10 is about 100, which is not bad. You really think about it. I could also get more scraps, but oh no, not Caston. Caston. Let's get some food. Right. Now let's go over. Container. No, not the empty container. Over this one. Straight. Always. Okay, and end cycle for now. We can end cycle. Yes, we can. That's nice. It's nice that we can actually do that directly. I thought maybe we had left something behind, but nope. Do this. Great. Mission complete. We've found stray. Which we could find some more stuff to use. But... oh my, this is gonna be good. Express. not a fan of this meaningless box. We have to engage, and I don't want to engage. I would really rather not engage. Let's deal with this to get something. Positive. Do it. Superb. I need one more, right? Let's risk it. Neutral. And we're done. You are told Rabia wishes to speak with you at our office. That. This time you meet inside Rabia's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit midway through a sequence of stretches. There are two low stools and a terminal in the corner, and it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, realize she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Okay? Update, she says, noticing you are looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Alright, don't be. I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of more invasive stares than I have. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight back. Jaya told me you had been doing the rounds, collecting fights, patrolling the wards, sorry. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed. And I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see for myself. I wanted to help. And you did. She closes her eyes for a moment. Hope you can see how things work around here. A strong Yaragon means a strong low end. Both are woven into each other. I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards, though some of our members may not see it this way. I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. This is why you have come to us. Enough, Rabia. Sabin's voice cuts through this conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's platoon in their hand, and lit with sparking electricity. So there's on the one hand Sabin, and on the other hand there's Rabia. Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two? She looks strangely unfazed. I'm gonna say yes. It's too tempting to not do that. Rabia smiles as Sabin moves closer with sudden intent. Sabin reaches Rabia, she rises and whips the batoon to meet her throat. Both freeze, Sabin holding the batoon out, the end shaking a little. Rabia fixed in place in front of it, leaning away from sparking tip. Stop. Why should I? She believes she holds power over both of us. Sabin holds steady. Now I can finally show her she does not. Your debt is with Yannick, Rabia stutters. Don't be a fool. This crusade will end you. Sabin grits their teeth, and for a moment you think they're about to touch the batoon to Sabin's exposed throat. Slowly, deliberately, they pass the tip forward, forcing Rabia to recoil back onto the stool. Sabin drops their arm to the side, but does not turn the baton off. Sabin, tell her. They both look at you, each still catching their breath as if they had forgotten about your presence. What's the point? Sabin breathes heavily. Does not listen to criticism of the great Yatagan project. Maya collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms, waits to be convinced. Sabin takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Maya immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching, but she rides it out. More eager to prove Sabin wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from Essen Arp, They glance at you, gouging a reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive, afraid. Sabin turns to you. Sleeper. Take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for S&ARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left S&ARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on. And to the press, S&ARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refugee at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabin stops to collect himself. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabai interrupts. The Sleeper knows you are S&ARP, I told him, and while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you've worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabin's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then walk away, ashamed. They lift their heads, but it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of S&ARP. Rabai flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here. Tie me up in debts to lock me away in exchange. Rabai slams a hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. Exchange for those, Sebi finishes, nodding towards Rabai's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He has been using Yatagan enforcers, using US test subjects for S&ARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is captured data and sending it back to its makers. My fixed expression has started to fade. Sabin produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabin suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop. Able to continue. Vaya closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabin. Show me, she says. Later, much later when you leave, Sabin is still talking to Rabai for the manifest and usage data, both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabin takes Rabai for each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabin catches your eye and something passes between you, something like a thank you, a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Drive complete, we have one upgrade point. Okay. Should we put this? No. We need two of them to do this. Chance to gain energy after the engagement. Yeah, I think we're gonna push into this, which is endurance. Use strength of will. Maybe even this. Can't. Okay. We have to wait until this finishes. Oh, caster. Can't give caster. That's a shame. Something else. Predictive reasoning, we get a little bit of this. Yeah, I'm not particularly interested in that. Nor am I interested in this. Wait. See what this is about. Be good. And that's it. Got it. Go climber. Export Matsutake. My shipmite call. Sell shipmite. Okay, so I can actually do stuff to that effect. Send a car. Does what? Send to the hub. Transit center. Ooh, steal a shipment. Oh. Careful, the shipments can be fought for long. It's part of the fun. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Lose condition and random items. Okay, time to go sleep. Because we need to go sleep. We need to feed the cat too. And cycle. Alright, we've lost one. That's just how it goes. Good explore. Scrap. I've already bought scrap. Oh, what happened here? Much. Okie doke. Scrap. I'd be losing condition, that's true. But we have to do it. Oh my. Just energy. Go back. Get energy from here. Oh. Okay. Safe, so I can use it. Not the safest, but still. Ah, they need this. It's risky, actually. But what does it give us? They'll feed me? Sure. Why not? Let's see what they'll feed me. Energy and cryo. Nice. Little bit of cryo, to be specific. Yeah. And then another one. Yep. Over here. Bypass. Struck later. Alright. We're kind of done for today. Add housing. I think we're okay. Let's pick at. More charge. Sometimes I'll let you stroke them, sometimes not. Right. I'm curious, when are we going to be meeting the mercenary? That mercenary should be back by now. Yeah, we are losing condition, which I very much despise. To be going back towards components. Oh, spokes and everything. Can we use this? No? No, probably not. Beef. Turn. Beef. And then we have these ones, which not all that useful. Interface. I don't know if this is ideal. This is ideal. Go across. This is rather dangerous, but I want to try this. Right. I'm gonna be doing the rest later. Go back. Sleep on it. Now. Sometimes they'll let you stroke them, sometimes not. Right. Cycle. Okie doke. We have some things we can do, but not a lot. We'll over prices. Ship fragments. I want to get some food. Yeah. Right. And let's see what Rabia has to say. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Saban? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing. Calls out as you enter. She calls out as you enter. I want to introduce you to someone. A man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia as he turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Octagon Elder. Okay. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles with an easy smile. Likewise, he waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabia placed a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. Tiny paws. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, has tinted glasses, shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. I smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately. Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. Steps on, surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, sleeper? Yes. Yannick nods his head as he's listening to music. Okay then, you suddenly aren't sure if he's talking to you. That concludes it. Sleeper. And come work in the wards anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast that you almost miss it. Good, I know you'll be happy with their work. Yannick reaches out and squeezes his shoulder. Sure, Rabbi. Now please, he says to me, face you. Let us old friends get back to it. Guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. Look to Rabia, but she's in deep conversation. And so, stunned and confused, you leave. Yeah, what was that all about? I'm now working for them? Yes, I am. Yannick is what? This is dangerous stuff. I don't want to do dangerous stuff, right? Rest. I think I'm going to be doing something completely different. They might not even notice it's gone. Steal the harvest. Work the stacks. Working the stacks is one thing, I suppose. A by yield. Gauge. Gauge is very. This one's safe then. 100% positive. Right. 16. I don't need 16. Heal. Got energy? Really? Come on. I don't want energy. I didn't want energy. That's something else. Do scrap components. Right. Get the scrap, and I want the scrap. It worked. Superb. Now I can use the scrap for myself. What's there that I can do here? Make this much. Oh. Greenway cipher. Really have that. Greenway ciphers. Okie doke. I guess I have to leave. Yeah, I have to leave. Okay, these are 2. This is 1. Extract data. I think that's about it. Ah, no. This one. Really nice. What I want to do instead is just go here and sell much of the Habenolstedt. Because I have quite a bit of it. I don't need it for anything. I genuinely don't. Okay, let's go on. Leave it at about 10. I think that'll be it for now. Go all the way up here. This stuff. That'll get us something. I think that's it for now. Yeah, I don't have the stuff that I need. Good. Scrap components. These things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait. It's gonna take a few cycles, but that's alright. Definitely gonna have to wait. Alrighty, and that's the end of this. Yeah, I think we're gonna conclude the run up until this point. I think we've had plenty of fun. No worries though, we're gonna be continuing next time. So yeah, I'm quite curious what's gonna happen to that hunter. I haven't seen him in a long time. Did we deal with him? Is he gone? Is he coming back? What's happening with everybody else? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping we're about to find out at some point. Anyway, if you wish to see the full-on stream, I'm going to be uploading that to YouTube at some point, so it'll definitely be up there. If you have any questions or inquiries, you can definitely leave them on Discord. And yeah, if you enjoyed the show, I'm very happy that that's the case, and I'll be seeing everyone out later on the next streaming episode. Until then, bye bye and take care of yourself.